Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernard from the BTNHD, and yes, another VRBuild under $800 video for you guys. And today is an easy video. It's all about cable management, hooking up all these cables into our motherboard and our GPU to get it up and running. So I actually did everything behind the scenes because cable management is one of the most dreadful task when building these machines, because you have to actually have every cable lined up perfectly, as well as you don't want all the cables going everywhere in the box. You want to make it as clean as possible. So what we're going to do is take a closer look. I'm going to tell you guys what cables I plugged into the motherboard on the Gigabyte Z170X-UD3, and I also what cables I used for the M12-2 bronze Seasonic power supply. And also we're going to take a look at where we hooked up our Cooler Master Evo 212 heatsink inside the motherboard. So let's take a closer look. Now, before I put the Cooler Master HAF 912 computer tower flat down so I can show you inside the area of the motherboard, I want to show you guys the other side, the side that you guys don't normally use a lot, right, when you're inserting stuff. This is a section where all the extra cables are going to be laid out. You don't want this extra cable to be where the CPU unit or the motherboard or the hard drives. This is the area where we do a little cleanup. Some companies that sell motherboards or power supplies, they give you these little straps, and I would recommend to take advantage of them, right? And then once they're nice and secure, just clip all of them. Make sure you don't clip the cables. So this is where you keep all the wires nice and clean, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put the tower down flat and we're gonna take a closer look to see how clean it looks. So this is how it looks inside our Cooler Master HAF 912 computer tower. As you can see, I have no wires crisscrossing each other. I try to keep it as clean as possible because, believe it or not, cable management will help the heat flow and the cooling flow within the computer. So that's always a plus. Now we have, I believe, two 120 or 140 millimeter fans from in the computer. One fan is on the back. This guy is actually hooked up over here in the side panel. I do recommend keep those manuals of your motherboard and also your computer tower, because those are very, very helpful. Even though the motherboard has printed information telling you CPU fan or USB this or that and that, make sure you keep the manual. They're very important. Now this fan right here, the back, is going to be placed on the back port up over here, which is close to the CPU. On the second 120 or 140 millimeter fan on the front panel, that is actually hooked up over here. And the label is actually called Fan 2, or System Fan 2, System Fan 1, and System Fan 3 on this particular motherboard. So this guy right here, this is the main cable that powers the entire motherboard. And right next to it, this cable is actually for the computer tower, and it supports the front USB 3.0 port of the tower. And for our GTX 970 graphics processor, we hooked up the Pcie power supply that comes with the cable of the Seasonic. Seasonic actually gives you a couple of Pcie power cables, so make sure you pick the correct one. It's doubled up, so I had to use like a nice little tie. And the reason why they give you two ports is because if you have a second graphics processor, you could just hook up this one and like daisy chain it, which is awesome. Over here is our Seasonic M12-2 Bronze Evo Edition, which I believe is around 620 watts. I believe that's what it is. And this one is a module power cable. So that means you don't have to have all the cables plugged in. Just have the ones that you need. The ones I already have inside the power supply is the motherboard. I have the motherboard main. There's two motherboard cables. And then this one over here on the end is our PCIe port. The only cable I do not have in here is for our SATA or our SSD hard drive, because eventually I didn't pick that up, but I will be picking up that hard drive pretty soon and inserting that. So that's the only cable that I need to have on the Seasonic. The last couple of cables that we had to plug in is our front panel, which is our power switch, our reset, our LED indicators within the front panel of our computer tower, We also had to hook up our front USB 2.0, as well as our HD audio, which is over here as well. As you can see, all the cables are basically going inside this little slot, so they won't crisscross each other inside the box, which is always a plus. Now, the cool thing about Gigabyte is that Gigabyte actually provides us within the front panel, because the front panel has these little cables. They actually give us a nice little 6 connector riser. So you connect all the cables on this little guy first, and then just plug it in like a regular plug, which makes it extremely easy. So use it, take advantage of that. All right, guys, and that's it for our cable management, or inserting our cables within our motherboard as well as our power supply. Oh, I'm relieved. The next part is inserting in hard drive. I'm going to be purchasing a SATA drive, 500 gigs. That's going to be my primary hard drive for my operating system. The operating system choice that I'm going to be placing it, I know you're probably going to hate me and give me a bunch of thumb downs, is Windows 10. I'm going to place Windows 10, and then eventually in the future I'm going to purchase a solid state drive, hook it up into this, and that's going to be my primary for installing all the game stuff, so I can have that read and write speed. Super satisfied. I try to keep the cabling as clean as possible. Again, guys, when you are inserting the cables within the motherboard and your power supply, take your time. It's not a thing that you can rush. It's not a 25 or 5-minute thing. Just take your time, placing everything accordingly. Keep the manuals for the motherboard as well, the manuals of the power supply and the computer tower. Keep all those manuals, because that stuff will help you out when you guys are plugging everything in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Leave comments right below. Make sure you guys subscribe. That's very important if you want to catch the latest and greatest tips and tricks and hacks and geeky related topics at my channel. And before I let you guys go, the last thing that we need to do is hard drive. That's going to be the last video. Last video is going to be the hard drive and installing the operating system, going inside BIOS, configuring it, and make sure everything is running properly. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.